Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all students? I hope that you are doing good. Welcome to the video lectures. Class 5 subject is English. And today we have lecture number 1. The book name is Oxford Reading Circle. Let's see the contents of today's lecture. We have to do the reading of Unit 18 from your Oxford Reading Circle books. Then we will have an explanation or discussion. Then we will prepare the dictation of this unit. Afterwards, we will do the words, meanings and sentences. And at the end, we will do exercise C part 2 of this unit. Let's see the instructions for today's lecture. I want all my students to be attentive and they should listen carefully. Keep all your things ready, books, notebooks and stationery items. आप सब लोगों के सब चीज़ें तैयार होनी चाहिए जब आप ये लेक्चर ले रहे होंगे. आपकी कॉपीज़, आपकी बुक्स और आपकी जो है राइटिंग मटेरियल जो भी आपको चाहिए, स्टेशनरी आइटम्स आपके पास होने चाहिए. You have to follow all the guidelines properly or make sure that you note down the key points as well. आपके जो लेक्चर के मेन पॉइंट्स हैं, की पॉइंट्स हैं, वो आप नोट डाउन करें. Take the lecture under the supervision of elders. It is very necessary. आपका किसी का बड़े का होना साथ ज़रूरी है जो आपका साथ जो है गाइड करे और आपके साथ बैठ के ये लेक्चर ले ताकि आप इसको प्रॉपरली समझ सकें. Now students, let's start the reading of Unit 18, How I Learned to Write. This unit is on page number 153 of Oxford Reading Circle. So open your books and read the first page thoroughly and then see these main points which we are going to discuss page-wise. Now the main points of page 153 are: in the beginning of the story, we come to know about the writer and his brothers, that how they study every day of the week and only on Sundays and holidays they get to play. The writer's father, he decided to send his sons to the riding school because he wanted them to learn how to ride a horse. As the writer was the youngest of his brothers, so his father thought that he was too small to go to the riding school. But the writer also wanted to go with his brothers, so he begged to his father to allow him to go, and he almost cried. Let's come to the next page, page number 154. After reading it, see the main points. Now, when the writer cried and begged, his father at last agreed to send him to the riding school. But before going, he told him that if he didn't fall from the horse, then he wouldn't learn. And on Wednesday, the three brothers were taken to the riding school. And when they reached there, the riding school is described in detail, that there was a porch and a large room. Gentlemen and ladies were there. And the riding school was dark and it was full of smell of horses. Coming to page number 155. Read this page and then see the main points. When they reached the riding school, the writer felt frightened. Now he was afraid. The valet brought 3 saddled horses for the writer and his brothers. Now valet is a male servant. A red-colored pony named Ruddy was brought for the writer. The master, who had to teach the brothers how to ride a horse, he asked them to sit on the horse. But the writer, as he was too small, he tried to sit on the horse by himself, but he couldn't. Now the next page, page number 156. After reading this page, see the main points. When the master saw that the writer couldn't sit on the horse by himself, so he helped the writer to sit on the horse. The writer tried to show that he was not afraid, but in reality he was afraid as Ruddy kept dropping his ears and he thought that it was angry at him. Moreover, as the saddle was sleek, so the writer thought he might slip off. So all these factors were disturbing the writer, and he was not very confident while sitting on the horse. Let's move to the next page, that is page number 157. After reading this page, see the main points. Now when the writer sat on the horse, it started at a slow trot. So Ruddy started moving at a slow speed. The master, who had to look after the writer, he became busy with his friend. He started to talk with his friend. Meanwhile, when the writer was sitting on the horse and the horse was moving, the writer started to slip off from his horse. The master was still busy. He did not see the writer slipping off, and he did not help him. Now, as the horse kept on moving, so the writer, who was uncomfortable already, he fell completely from his horse. Let's come to page number 158, which is the last page of the story. After reading it, see the main points. Now, when the writer had fallen out from the horse, it stopped, and then the master realized that the writer had fallen off. But the writer didn't cry. Although he was hurt, but he put on a brave face and he didn't cry, and he asked the master to make him sit on the horse again. So he sat on the horse and did not fall after that. And after doing practice in the riding school, the writer soon learned to ride. So this was the story, How I Learned to Ride, where we come across an incident where the writer is telling that he fell from the horse and then he learned to ride a horse. So इस स्टोरी से हमें एक मोरल लेसन मिलता है अपनी एक ज़िंदगी में कि आपको गिव अप नहीं करना चाहिए. वी शुड नॉट लूज़ होप. और अगर आप गिरते हैं कोई भी काम करने से पहले या कोई भी काम स्टार्ट करने पे आप कामयाब नहीं होते, तो आपको होप नहीं लूज़ करनी चाहिए. एंड यू शुड मेक कंटिन्यूस एफर्ट्स टू succeed at the end. I hope that you have understood the story and you have done the reading of this lesson properly. After completing our reading and discussion of the main points, let's come to dictation, another important aspect of this unit. Now, students, as you know that you have dictation of only one lesson in every term, so you have dictation of this unit in this term. Now, for preparing dictation of this unit, you have to read the unit again carefully and underline all the difficult words. Practice the difficult words by learning their spellings and writing them repeatedly on rough copies. Afterwards, when you have prepared the dictation, ask your supervisor to dictate a paragraph of about 10 lines from anywhere in the unit and then check it afterwards. Students, you have to see your mistakes in your dictation and you have to do the corrections of every mistake 5 times at least. So you have to write 5 times each wrong word so that you will not make the same mistake again. This is the whole procedure of preparing dictation of this unit. Now let's come to the words meanings of this unit. Now you have to do these words meanings on your copies and also sentences. So you better take out your notebooks and your stationery items with you. Now there are total 5 words which are given here. For meanings, the first word is valet. Now this word is valet, not valet. T is silent in it, so we will pronounce it as valet. The meaning of valet is a male servant. Second word is sleek. The meaning of sleek is smooth and glossy, something which is shiny. Third word is trot. The meaning of trot, to run at moderate pace. Now generally it is used for horses, but it can be used for human beings also, to run at a certain speed. Next we have frightened. The meaning of frightened is afraid, dar jana. And the last word is entirely. Entirely means completely. Now these were the word meanings which you have to note on your copies. Now let's move on to the next work, that is make sentences. We have to make sentences of the same words. Students, I encourage all of you to make sentences of your own. It is not compulsory to note down these sentences which I am giving you for every word. Now these sentences are just as sample sentences. These are just examples, just to give you help in how to make sentences. Now the first word is valet. You already know the meaning of this word. I have chosen two sentences here. The valet parked our car in the parking lot, and the next one is the valet helped the boy ride the horse. Now you have to make only one sentence for every word. The next word is sleek. Our car is sleek and smooth. And the second one is my mother likes to wear sleek clothes. Coming to the third word, that is trot. The first sentence here is the horse trotted in the ground, and the second is the child trotted across the room. Moving on to the fourth word, that is frightened. The boy was frightened but he didn't show. And the next one is I was frightened of the snake. And the last word is entirely, which means completely. And the two sample sentences are he slipped off entirely and fell to the ground, and I am entirely responsible for this accident. स्टूडेंट्स मैं एक दफ़ा फिर क्लियर कर दूं कि ये सैम्पल सेंटेंसेस हैं. मैं आपको यही इनकरेज करूँगी कि आप कोशिश करें कि आप ख़ुद से सेंटेंस बनाएं, और ये याद रखें कि आपने हर वर्ड का एक ही सेंटेंस बनाना है. ये टू सेंटेंसेस आर जस्ट फॉर योर हेल्प, फॉर योर प्रैक्टिस, ताकि आपके माइंड में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कुछ स्टोर रहें ये सेंटेंसेस. लेकिन आपने कॉपीज़ में एक ही सेंटेंस बनाना है. Now coming to the next work for today, that is exercise C part 2. That is on page number 160 of your Oxford Reading Circle books. Now the statement is, can you think of homophones for the following? Before starting off the exercise, let's see what homophones really are. This is the definition of a homophone. A homophone is a word that sounds the same as another but is spelled in a different way. यानी कि ऐसे अल्फाज जिनके स्पेलिंग्स और मीनिंग्स डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं बट उनकी साउंड एक जैसी आती है, उनको एक तरह से बोला जाता है. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल देयर, नाउ सी द डिफरेंस इन द स्पेलिंग्स. देयर दोनों वर्ड्स देयर ही हैं, लेकिन उनके स्पेलिंग्स चेंज हैं और उनके मीनिंग्स भी यहाँ डेफिनेटली चेंज हैं. सेकेंड वर्ड इज़ वेट. WAIT and WEIGHT. वेट मीन्स इंतज़ार करना, और जो दूसरा वेट है इसका मतलब है किसी चीज़ का वज़न. और अगली एग्जांपल हमारे पास है फेयर. FAIR and FARE. नाउ बोथ आर साउंडिंग सिमिलर बट देयर मीनिंग्स आर डिफरेंट. पहला फेयर मीन्स टू बी जस्ट, टू ट्रीट इक्वली, and the other fare means to pay the money when you are traveling on a bus or any other vehicle. यानी किराया जैसे आप जिसको कहते हैं. I hope आपको understanding हो गई होगी कि what homophones really are. Now coming to the exercise which is on page number 160 of your books. Now the words are given here which, for which you have to write the homophones. The first word is mane, M-A-N-E, mane. It is the hair on the neck of a horse, and its homophone is main, M-A-I-N. Yani something markazi, main, important. And the next word is tail, T-A-L-E, tail means story, and its homophone is T-A-I-L. T-A-I-L is यानी किसी भी जानवर की दुम को हम कहते हैं. After it we have horse, H-O-R-S-E, horse. It's an animal, and its homophone is horse, H-O-A-R-S-E, which means rough, khudra. Next is neigh, N-A-Y. Neigh is another word for no, and its sound, its homophone is neigh, N-E-I-G-H, which is the sound of a horse. Coming to the next word, that is reigns, R-E-I-G-N-S. That is the ruling period of a certain king or a ruler, and its homophone is rains, R-A-I-N-S, जो कि the word हम यानी कि बारिश के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. After it we have hair, H-A-I-R, hair. Bal, and its homophone is H-A-R-E, hair, which is another word for rabbit. Next is road, R-O-A-D, road, sadak, and its homophone is R-O-D-E, road. That is the second form of ride. The last word is woe, W-H-O-A, and its homophone is woe, W-O-E. Now woe, the first woe means the when you're giving a command to a horse, and the second one means to be sad, to be in distress. Now these words were the words which you have to write on your copy, students, and you have to mention their homophones in front of them. That was today's lecture. I hope that you have understood everything and you have noted everything on your copies as well. If you have any queries or problems, you can ask me. I am here for your guidance. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.